Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tilted Table with another lovely week of board games. My name is Jordan, aka Axel Hellfire.
I'm Sam, aka DJ Fluffkins.
I'm Jeffrey, aka Stan Wars.
Cynthia, aka Cynthia.
Yes, welcome back, everyone. We are super excited for this week's game, which is called Landed. It is a space terraforming game, somewhat similar to Carcassonne, which you'll see, but not quite the same. You have all these little tiles that have a bunch of different terrain types on them, and you're going to be building them out onto the board as we try and terraform this planet, and we are trying to basically fulfill contracts that we have elected, which is kind of where it deviates from Carcassonne, in that everyone will have some unique or at least different contracts that they're trying to fulfill that are private. No one knows what you're trying to accomplish, and that's going to kind of dictate your strategy throughout the game.
Is it kind of like Ticket to Ride then?
In some ways, yeah.
Is it like Carcassonne meets
Ticket to Carcassonne? I don't know, maybe.
Ticket to Carcassonne on Mars.
Crit Camp, Sarcastic Owl Productions, Black Robe. Thank you all for the hosts. We appreciate it. First off, before we get started, I do want to point out one thing which is on the stream as well, which I'm very excited about, which is that Argyle Games, the publisher of Landed, have very, very graciously granted us an exclusive discount for the viewers of the stream. You can get 25% off on anything at their website, argylegames.com, with the promo code TILTED. And that's good through like the 12th, so for a while.
That's my birthday.
Landed is not their only game. They've got some other stuff on there. It's already a pretty decently priced game, but at 25% off, that's pretty exciting.
It is. Hey, Mr. Draco.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, that's
Wednesday
awesome.
Is also my
Okay.
favorite day.
Yeah, Wednesday's my new favorite day. Actually, it's always my favorite day because I get to see you all. So
I make waffles on Wednesday, so
Waffle Wednesday.
waffles
I like
are
it.
the exciting part.
I
the
see.
stream.
Where are our waffles, Sam?
I just like playing games
If-
and having something to play with.
They're 3 hours ago, Jordan.
I did see that post and I was wondering about
Chat,
that.
can we get like a waffle riot or something? I don't know.
Can
Like,
waffles be the new game food, the game snack?
yeah, that could have been our stream snack. What's up,
Yes.
Sam?
Next week.
Fine.
You make the waffles here?
Well, I'm in Sansom, but yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Short answer is yes.
They have a waffle maker.
Yes.
Do you have Nutella?
Yes. Well, I mean, the
Because
office
of
has
course.
Nutella.
You have a couple questions for everyone. Ooh, we're
Whoa,
interested
whoa,
in
whoa.
questions.
Before the game started.
Also, as our weekly reminder, we still have beans left for Bean Boozled. So
What is the bulk rate? Did we decide a bulk rate?
I don't think we decided a bulk rate, but if chat wants to propose one,
Yeah.
I'm sure Sam will just agree to it on the spot. But yeah, if you donate bits, 250 bits, someone will have to do a random bean out of the bin of a flavor that may or may not be a good flavor. And I think Cynthia volunteered to be in last week.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in if you don't want to. But it's kind of like Birdie Bot's Every Flavor Beans, just without the Harry
I have
Potter
Reese's
theme.
Pieces here to wash it down.
I'll
Yeah.
do the. I'll do 10 for 2K.
He'll do 10 beans for 2,000 bits,
But I'll do them all at once.
and he'll do them all at once, which is even crazier.
What's
All right.
the ratio of like yum to yuck? Or
Uh,
the other way
it's-
around?
It's probably
It's-
close to 50-50.
It's about
right?
1 to 1.
Okay.
So there, for each color bean, there's one good flavor and one bad flavor.
You just don't know which is
You
which.
just don't know which one you got until you eat it. Yeah.
All right. Are y'all backing any games on Kickstarter? If so, what are you looking forward to the most? I mean, I'm backing both RDI games right now, and then Jordan and I are both backing Tiny Epic Zombies.
Yes.
That's it for me.
Yeah. So definitely, I don't have anything that's currently in flight that I'm backing, but I do have things that I'm waiting on shipments for. So definitely the
That's a good idea.
Tiny Epic
I
Zombies.
didn't know that was a thing.
Definitely.
Oh, good
Uh,
Kickstarter? That's cool.
I didn't know you could do.
Yeah, I didn't know
you could
either.
do that either.
I don't
We'll
know how to
definitely look
bring
into
the
that,
stupid box
Draco.
either.
Mr.
Yeah.
Draco, do you work at Kickstarter?
Right? Draco knows all the things.
Yeah.
What else am I waiting on? I'm waiting on RDI 7, which is shipping soon. I feel like there's something else. Oh, the Ninth World after like 2 years of waiting for that to fulfill, is shipping. I'm super excited about that one because that's just, it looks like a really great game. Numenera is a fun role-playing system, so should be a great game.
I'm going to cop to the fact that I don't back any games on Kickstarter because I have enough friends that do. There's really no point.
Oh, so you found the life hack. Just make friends with people who
Exactly, and I'm not
spend
gonna play
money on
games
Kickstarter.
by myself anyway. So the usual suspects
Sure.
I would play with, they're already backing everything, so I don't need to.
basically me. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. I've gotten better about backing things on Kickstarter, but I still do occasionally.
Nowadays, it's like I see Jordan back something. I'm like, Jordan, do I need to back this, or are we good?
Yeah, right. It's true. And that's how we both ended up backing Tiny Epic Zombies, because we were like, wait,
we're
we
both
both
backing
want
it.
this, and we can get a discount if you buy 2 at once. Sold. So yeah, I don't have anything that's currently running that I'm backing, but I do have a lot of things I'm waiting on, and we will definitely look into making a Kickstarter group so that y'all
That's a
can
good
see
idea.
it. Yeah, Tiny Epic Zombies. It's part of the Tiny Epic series that includes Tiny Epic Galaxies, Tiny Epic Western, Tiny Epic Kingdoms. I feel like there's a Tiny Epic Defenders. I think there were 4, and Zombies is the 5th
that was
one.
called like Tiny Epic Giants.
I would play that. Yeah.
Someday.
So, we will definitely look into the group thing because I think that would be cool. We have a lot of us that back things on Kickstarter, especially when it comes on stream, and then we're like, oh, and then we back it. So yeah, we'll definitely work on that. All right, so Landed. This is actually a Kickstarter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Just like
Already
Marvel.
fulfilled, which is why you can buy it now on their website or your local game store or wherever. But this is a game that I backed on Kickstarter back in my Kickstarter spree days. But it's one that I'm very happy that I got because the first time I played it, it just fulfilled all the promises that I was hoping for it. And I'm excited to show it to you all today. So the way this game works is there are a couple things that you can do on your turn. You're going to have a hand of tiles, and I think the max hand size is 4. There will be ways to acquire them, but let's just say that I have a couple tiles in my hand. So on your turn, you have 3 actions you can choose from, and you can only do one of them. You can terraform, which is just play any tile onto the board and just put it out there. You do not have to match colors if you do not want to. It is definitely in your advantage to match colors if those are colors that you want to match, but you don't have to. There's no requirements there. Secondly, you can draw new land tiles out of our handy dandy bag until you have up to 4 in your hand. And then thirdly, you can do what's called sign, which is signing new contracts. So everyone's gonna start the game with 2 of these contracts, and I'll give Sam a couple to show to the camera. But the sign action is basically that you can get new ones, much like in Ticket to Ride. You can draw 3 and you can keep 1 or 2. You can't keep all 3. You can't keep 0. And you can only have a maximum of 3 unfulfilled contracts at a time. Once you fulfill a contract, you can go get more, but you can only have 3 that are secret and unfulfilled. So the way these contracts work is the contracts kind of dictate how you score points in the game. They're the primary method of getting points. And contracts have a couple different things. So first of all, they have a terrain type, so like tundra, prairie, desert, mountain, etc., which matches the different terrain types on the tiles. And what you're looking to do is you're looking to find a contiguous region of the same type of terrain in order to claim a contract. So, for example, the one that Sam has right now, this blue one, has, it looks like you can claim it with 2 tiles, or 3 tiles, or 5 tiles, or 6 tiles. So what that means is, like here, if I have these 2 tiles touching where they make a contiguous section of blue, I could reveal that contract and claim it at the 2-tile level. If I had a third one, I could claim the 3 level. If it kept going until I had 5, I could claim the 5 and the 6.
Okay. So it's not the shape of the tile
Correct.
the way it is in
That's the
Takenoko.
number.
It is just the number.
Yes.
And once a section has been claimed, can it be claimed by someone else as well?
That's a
No.
great question, and the answer is yes. So everyone has 6 cubes of their color. Though that is the maximum number of contracts that you can fulfill in the game. When you complete a contract, you will place your cube on the tile that you just placed, because you can only fulfill a contract after placing a tile with the tile that you place. So if you just don't have the color that you need, and the space is already out there, you can't actually claim it. You would need to place a tile that has the color that matches the contract that you played. So you would take the terraform action. After terraforming, you would place your cube on that tile, and then you would reveal your contract. And there are 2 numbers under each group of each number of tiles that you can claim. The number on the left, which is the kind of gold-backed number, is the number of points that the first person to claims this region scores. If you claim a region that already has 1 cube on it, you get the second number.
Can you fulfill more than 1 contract? So say 2 contracts with the same terrain?
No.
Okay. So if
Sorry. With the same terrain, yes.
Yeah, so say like I have like 2 Onks Mountain contracts, and say I place like a black tile.
Right.
Can I fulfill both of these contracts?
Not at the same time.
Okay,
No.
But separately.
You
Next
can
turn,
be
okay.
the first and second person to claim the same
Got it.
region.
And
Absolutely.
does that mean that like after the second person, nobody else can claim that same terrain anymore?
Correct. Once 2 people have claimed it,
That's
it
less.
cannot be claimed
Okay.
anymore. And let me double check, because I want to make sure that first
Reese's
player.
Pieces are so good and so bad for you.
Yeah, it's so true.
So much bad.
So something that's interesting that I want to call out here is that if you claim a region that you were the first person to claim, you still get the better point value.
Oh,
so
so you
it-
claim it twice.
it is
you still
actually-
get- so
yeah.
it's better to claim your own thing twice if you can.
I believe so. If I'm reading this correctly, it's saying 2 players can claim the same land area. Only the first player scores full points, while the second player scores fewer points. And I want to double check that it says first player and second player. I want to
Not
make
first
sure.
claim, second claim.
Right. So I'm going to double. In fact, I'm actually just going to hand this to Sam to try and search for the answer to that while I keep going on. So
Can I jump in with 2 questions?
absolutely.
So
Also, hello, Rob.
this blue guy, he is
Yep.
tied to the water because he's been
Yes,
placed here.
only that color.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the 6 that we get, unlike Carcassonne, we will not get these back.
You will
once
never
they're
get them
placed.
back.
Okay.
Correct. Because unlike Carcassonne, you don't place them to claim something early. You place it when you've completed your contract.
So you can only fulfill
Yeah.
up to 6
So,
contracts.
whereas in Carcassonne, you kind of try and claim things early and stake a claim on a thing so that other people maybe don't challenge you. In this game, you don't have to telegraph what you're doing at all, except maybe by how you're placing
And
tiles.
you probably don't want to do it until later anyway.
Right. So nobody knows for sure what you're going for because they can't see your contracts, and you won't have your cubes on the board till after it's too late.
Cool.
The other thing I want to point out is a lot of these contracts have text at the bottom that gives you some sort of ability. When you fulfill the contract, you will also get that ability, which could be drawing a card or scoring extra points for certain things or whatever. There are 2 types of cards in the game. There are the contract cards, and then there are what are called satellite cards. Satellite cards are basically just cards that give you additional abilities throughout the game. You can have, I want to say, as many satellite cards as you want, but you can only use 1 per turn. You can use it at any time during your turn. It does not count as your action. And you, much like, say, Settlers, you can't use it on the same turn that you gain it. So you have to have already had it. But the cards themselves give you a lot of different advantages. Like some of them let you take an extra action. So you might have one that says, like, in addition to your regular action, take an extra terraform action this turn, or an extra plan, or an extra sign. I think there's one type of card for each action. So you could technically take like a terraform and a sign action, or you could do 2 terraforms or whatever.
Okay.
Then the other thing that you can do is if you save these cards and don't play them at the end of the game, they're just worth 2 victory points.
2 points each.
Yeah.
Not
So
bad.
for every card that you don't manage to play, they're worth points at the end of the game. But they do have some pretty awesome abilities, including the ability to... one of them gives you the ability to take a tile from your hand and put it on top of another tile that doesn't have a cube on it. And then there's another one that lets you pick up a tile and move it.
What happens if you destroy someone's claimed territory? Do they lose those points now?
Nope. So in the example of what I was just talking about, if you, like, say, moved this tile,
yeah.
or actually
points
a
are
better
already
example would be, well, no, this is fine. Let's say you
Yeah.
moved this tile,
Yeah.
and then later you placed, like, this tile. You could actually claim this as a fresh, unclaimed area.
Sure, but it doesn't affect blue's points.
Nope, doesn't
Okay,
affect their
blue's
points.
points are already
Yeah,
reserved
It
for-
just helps you claim part of that without
Okay.
having to take the secondary points.
Okay, cool.
Let's see here. Let's see.
And
So
you earn these satellite cards by placing one tile.
you earn the satellite cards primarily in 2 ways. One, some contracts will just have the ability to draw a satellite card when you fulfill them. And 2, on some of these tiles, there are these little satellites in the center.
Oh, that's what they meant by a satellite tile.
Yes. So whenever you place a satellite tile next to another satellite tile, you can draw a satellite card. So the first person to play a satellite tile on the
lose
board
out.
doesn't actually get anything.
Yeah.
But from there on, you could make like a never-ending chain of them if you wanted, and every additional one that is adjacent to a satellite would draw a card. But if I place this like over here, I wouldn't get anything because it's not connected to the other ones that are already on the board.
Got it.
Is there any reason why you would not want to draw a satellite tile?
I mean, you
think it's
draw
random.
blind. You draw tiles blind from the bag, so you don't get a choice as to what you get.
Oh, sorry, I meant a card because you said like
Draw a satellite card. No.
No.
So it's always good to have them because even if you can't use the ability, it's 2 victory points.
cool.
Yep, absolutely.
So the call out is based on, it's not explicit, but based on the wording, I believe. Even if you claimed it first, when you claim it again, you get the non-gold value.
Okay.
Okay, so
Cool.
it's first claim, second claim.
First claim, second
Not
claim.
first
Yeah.
player, second player.
Yep.
And
Okay.
then the other thing to call out, which I guess is probably implied, is if you have a link and it's like 4 blue, you can still cap 3 blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the
That
things
makes
I was going to
sense.
mention. Yeah. So you can always you don't have to
Yes.
match it exactly. You just have to have it or exceed
At
it.
least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yep. Because you'll note that the contracts don't list out every single number of tiles that you could have, and and they're different. Each contract has different numbers that they can be redeemed for.
So with Onyx Mountain, for instance, the first person that claims it gets 3, but then if a second person claims it later, they can get 8.
Yeah, if it
Yes.
got bigger.
Okay.
Mhm,
Bigger,
absolutely.
But it'd
Yeah.
still be the second claim, not
Correct.
the first claim.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So they could get more points, but not as many as they could have if someone else did it.
Fascinating.
How the game ends. There are 2 ways that the game
Rad
can end.
tiles.
One is, when the last tile gets drawn out of the bag.
How many tiles are there?
I don't know. Maybe it probably says over there.
Seems like a
30
useful number
something.
to know.
No, 59. 59 tiles.
That's a lot.
Plus the starting time.
Plus the starting tile. So 60 tiles, but we won't play the starting tile. It'll just live there. So 59 tiles. And when someone draws the last tile out of the bag, that triggers the final round. Everyone else gets 1 more turn, including the person who drew the last tile will get an additional turn after that.
Okay.
So basically, everyone gets 1 turn in which they cannot draw tiles because there are none left.
Okay.
Satellite cards, we will reshuffle the discard if we need to draw more. Not so with contracts because you, I guess technically it is possible that like the contract you could draw enough and discard enough that there'd be like a discard, so you would just reshuffle it, but it's very unlikely. The other way that the game can end is if all players run out of all 6 of their cubes. So if we've all fulfilled 6 contracts each, there's literally nothing else that can be done other than placing tiles to try and earn satellite.
Yep.
So the game just ends once the last player plays their last token.
Got it.
Cool.
Yeah.
The only other thing I want to point out, just so that the viewers and you know, is that all tiles are double-sided and they're not the same on each side. So you get
that's
twice
important
as
to
many.
know.
You get twice as many choices.
No, so many decisions.
So you can
Yes.
look and figure out which way you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn it.
Yep. You can flip it either way, and you can rotate it however way you want. All right. Any questions?
Let's play.
I got one last one.
Yes.
Have you played enough to know what the average winning score range would be?
Nope.
Okay.
I've
What did
played.
you get last time?
I've played once, and I don't remember what I got.
Was it like more than 100?
No.
Was it more than 50?
I mean, it's literally can't be more.
Well,
Could
no,
Well-
the other side of
Oh, is there? Oh,
you
Yeah,
can.
this is actually a 2-sided scoreboard. This is the one that's better for viewers, but the other side I think is
the
nice.
other side went up to 200 points.
Yes, this viewer is confused, but I wait watching the play. Yes,
Hi,
it,
Fiona.
honestly, as with most things, the game becomes a lot clearer once you start
I
playing
think
than
that's
it is
true of
in
many
explanation.
games.
I thought you were gonna say, as with most things, Jordan is not great at explaining it.
I would have
That's
said
not
that if Steve
true.
was here.
Oh,
Oh!
Where's the
I still
timer?
haven't met this
Boo.
mythical Steve.
I know. He's
It's
avoiding you.
not real.
I know.
You must demand horses,
Oh,
and
wait.
sometimes he
Yeah.
appears.
I shouldn't be
He's
too
actually
often,
just a.
right?
Yes, he's actually just a stuffed Bible thump
Do we
character.
need starting tiles? Like, do we each draw four
Yes,
individual
there.
tiles
If you can
to
look
the
up,
starting position?
we do start with some tiles. I just don't remember how many. But Sam's about to tell us in setup. Everyone gets
6. No, that's
No.
cubes. 4.
4,
Four?
and then I will give everyone four
land
four
tiles.
land tiles. So just draw 4 and pass the bag. And then everyone will start with 4 contracts, and they'll pick 2 to keep and 2 to discard privately.
Yeah, four?
All right, so end game. Sorry, just because I was zoning out for a second.
No worries.
End game is when everyone's out of these tiles or these.
That's when the game
Cubes.
ends.
Yeah.
Is there any other way to trigger?
Yeah,
endgame?
when this bag runs out. When we run out of
Okay.
actual tiles to place.
Are tiles in hand public knowledge?
I think yes, because
it's
it's
kind of hard to hide them.
yeah. I mean, if you really need to see what someone has, you can just ask. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna spend my time like studying what everyone
Are these
has, but
cranberries? What do you think these are? Red things.
it says in one of them, but I forget.
Cherries? Strawberries?
No, I think it's
Two.
like a gem
Oh,
of
is
some
this
sort.
are these my contracts?
Yes.
And do we keep all 4 to begin with?
No, you keep 2.
Oh, so we choose.
Yep. So that might be influenced by what tiles you have to start, or it might not. Maybe how many points they're worth, or how big they need to be.
Interesting. I'm trying to think how much I have of each thing.
You do not normally get a contract upon completing one, correct?
Correct. The only way to get new contracts is to take the sign action, unless there's an ability. Actually, I'll give them to you to put over near the. Unless there's an ability that specifically says, draw another contract or something like that.
Are all like land types, or are these equally distributed? You know, is it sort of like equal likelihood of?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. As far as I could tell, there was no like implicit advantage to a particular color.
Oh, and all the point values are the same for each element?
No.
No?
No. There are different types of point and requirement distributions, and they are distributed across all colors. So there are within a particular color, there are very different contracts available. There could be multiples of the same, but they're not always the same.
Gotcha. I
Yeah.
must have some luck then.
Yeah.
We're only keeping 2?
Yes. For ex-
Only has blue ones.
For example, I had 2 of the 4 contracts I drew were exactly the same, but in different colors. Otherwise, the point values and the requirements were 100% the same. Oh, what is this? Does this game have a cool going first thing, or does it just say, like...
Ooh.
I think it just says, like, spin the start tile or something like that, but... Just curious. What is it?
The starting player is the person who has most recently visited another planet.
I was just gonna say, it's gonna ask
Ooh.
us who's been to space most
That's
recently.
not-
If
Um,
tied, the starting player is the person
Let's
person
see.
who most recently looked through a telescope.
I played No Man's Sky a few months ago.
Telescope. Most
Yeah.
recently looked through a telescope.
Hey,
Hey,
Serenity
what's
Game
up?
Club, thank you for the host.
Good night.
Good night, Rainbow. Thanks for lurking.
Okay, I have my 2 contracts.
All right, so has anyone looked through a telescope?
It's probably been
No.
5 or 6 months for me.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
wow.
very
That's
Yeah, I'm
very
like,
recent.
I thought
That's
you were
very
going to say
recent.
years or
Yeah.
decades, and you
Yeah.
said months, so you win.
Yeah, you win.
Oh god, I didn't want to
Pick
go
last 12
first.
months. Well, you must.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you can just put it over in this corner for now.
Okay, on your turn, take one of the following actions. Place a land tile. Draw a land tile.
Perfect.
Ooh.
The only other thing that I want to call out, which you may see on some of your tiles, is there is a 7th train type, which is lava.
Wait. You can't terraform and draw tiles at the same time, can
Ah,
you?
correct.
Oh, sorry, I thought you drew automatically.
No.
No.
No, you draw as your action. Yeah.
So you like.
So you
yeah.
basically play
just
out till you
play
get low, and then you draw
or-
back
or
up to
draw.
4. There is a lava terrain type, which basically just can't be terraformed. It's just like it's a blocker that
Wait,
prevents
so
things from
the
connecting.
red's not the lava.
No.
though.
The lava is not any of these 6. It'll be very obviously lava. I think there's a picture in the rule book if you need to see it, but it's very lava-like.
This is interesting.
Going clockwise?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I assume clockwise.
Because we're in America.
Hmm.
Indeed.
Hmm.
Indubitably.
Hmm.
Gotta remember to check the backsides of
Yeah, I
these
keep forgetting
sweet,
that.
sweet tiles.
I should probably do
All
that
right.
then.
We're gonna do that.
White and blue are separate.
Correct.
How does this tile play?
It
Is this 3?
is 3 different colors where the sand one actually connects through to both sides
Okay.
of the tile.
So this is a valid play.
That is valid. It extends the sand, and if you were to put another sand over here, it would be part of that same region.
So right now,
It's 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Correct.
And I get a satellite card.
Yes.
Do you?
I think I had to link them.
Yeah, I thought you had to link them to get the.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, the
yeah.
first?
Yes, the first one gets nothing.
Always loses out.
The first satellite gets nothing.
Yeah. That's why no one's playing a satellite card.
We're all hedging our
You
bets.
could also.
No.
No.
Okay.
I don't need to help you guys.
I didn't say anything about helping. Jeez.
I've played enough with Jordan.
Okay.
Hey, you guys can do this. That won't help me.
I don't know what you're.
I'm
talking
gonna
about.
go and claim 5.
Ooh. Boom. Show us your contract. All right. So that 5 is worth 15 points if you want to put him on the
What?
scoreboard here.
And yellow, please.
Wow.
And yes, yellow gets 15 points. And
Get a contract?
you get to draw 1 contract and optionally discard 1 contract. So you can keep it, or you can discard 1 if you don't like one of the ones you have.
Would I ever discard it unless I'm already at capacity?
I think that's the main reason. Is you're like, I'm never going to have this, and I want to be able to get rid of it so that I don't have to fulfill it.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm just gonna say this.
And then you keep this just to track what you have.
I don't like how this game does colors.
Yeah.
I know.
How would you prefer it to be?
I would prefer my card not to look green and brown.
Ah, that's fun.
You know, like
Yeah.
yeah. Because now I realize
It was
I do not
what
have
thought.
what I think I have.
Oops.
Did you play?
She played.
I played.
I'm still thinking.
Excuse me.
Okay. Let's make sure I did this right.
It is on the tile. Like it's very obvious on the tile which ones are different. It is not super obvious on these cards.
Yeah. On Sam's particular one, two of the colors maybe are a little bit too close.
Yeah.
On the tiles, yes, it is fairly obvious. But I do think that in particular the like green and brown are not
Yeah.
great. The other ones are like very obviously different. Green and brown are a little similar. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this, and I'm going to claim that,
So that's 4.
which gives me 7 points, and I get to take another turn.
Nice.
Which one?
Blue.
Blue for 7. And then what we're going to do is just trying to decide how. Okay. Then we're going to do this, and we're going to claim that for 5, I believe. Which gives me 15 points, and I score 1 for every other contract I've already fulfilled, so 16 points.
Nice.
Not
Add
bad.
16.
Yes.
Whew.
Oh, got lucky enough that those two kind of built out right next to each other. Did not expect that, but I will take it. And then I'm going to be not laying tiles for a while because I only have 1 tile and no contracts.
I'm back to square one.
So as big as this blue area gets, nobody can score any more points on it.
No, they can. The blue area.
Figure out since you
You'll be get,
since
like,
you
number
missed it, the
2
TLDR is that the tiles are very clear, but the contracts could be clearer, and specifically the green and the brown, just in general, could be a little bit more differentiated.
To answer your question, though, you can still claim it, but you won't get like the gold points. You'll get the silver points on your contract, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I thought Jordan had both.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
claimed
these
the
are
blue
two
They're
and
two
the
different
white.
colors. Yeah.
They're different territories.
I
Oh,
claim.
I
One's
see.
blue,
I
one's
could.
white.
Yeah, this one's blue. This one's white.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You played, right?
I did.
Your
Yes.
turn.
So that is. So that was my big play. Now I'm not going to do anything for a while.
Don't worry.
You
I'm
gotta-
right there with
Got to go up early so that Sam and Jeffrey can justify
Gonna
their
draw.
anti-competitive pact.
It's fine.
As a reminder for people who are watching, you do see it over here on the edge of the stream, but we do have a very lovely 25% off promo code on everything at the Argyle Games store.
Five.
With the promo code TILTED, they were very generous to provide that for the viewers today. I don't remember what this is going for on their website, but I looked earlier today and I think it was sub 30 before the discount.
Your turn.
So it's a
Oh,
pretty good
right.
price. I'm going to draw contracts.
Well, I had them. Right.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks for thinking of me.
Contracts in hand don't count against you at the end, right?
Nope. All right, and then I have to discard 1. So,
To the bottom of the deck.
bottom of the deck. Great.
And you can only have max 4 contracts. in
Max
hand?
3.
Max 3 contracts
Yes.
And we're allowed to just like block certain elements
Yep.
like that.
That's a region of 1. It's done being built. Yep. That can be an effective strategy if you see someone building a color and there's only one way to expand it and you just cut them off and then they never get to actually claim it, that's absolutely valid. Yeah.
You played 5.
There you
on
go.
the brown
Mr.
deck.
Draco says it's $29.99 plus shipping and handling. So it's $30 plus shipping, and you get 25% off.
No, you played 5 on this contract.
Yeah.
right?
Yes, he did.
I can only do one thing, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you can only do one thing.
You drew contracts. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means it's over you.
I can draw tablets.
I hate Jordan.
Okay.
Okay.
I know what's gonna happen.
Is this lava?
That's it.
Yes, you found the lava.
Okay, so what does this do?
It just means that, like, it's just blocking places that don't connect to anything else. Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Got it.
You can't, like, connect through lava.
Yep, understood. Okay, cool. Your turn.
All right. I think I'm going to terraform. Sorry, Sam.
Ah!
It's just been sitting there waiting for me. I'm going to go ahead and do that,
The second he played it, I knew exactly what was gonna happen.
and then that. I'm going to claim a desert for 6. Well, I think it's actually 7 now, but it doesn't matter. Which gives me 12 points because Jeffrey has already claimed that region. And then I score 1 for every other contract I've completed, so that's 14 points.
Oh, that bonus stays with you?
No, that's
That's
the
a
ability
separate
of the new
bonus.
contract I fulfilled.
It's awfully
I got it
convenient.
again, yeah. Well, I kept that one for a reason, that's for sure.
Nice. I have 0 points. Sam.
It's okay, I only have 3 left,
Yeah.
and it's early in the game, so I could just fizzle out and be sitting here trying to collect satellites for a while. But, like, I also have literally no tiles left, so I for sure have to draw next turn. So you all have a chance. What this means is you all now know I can do nothing to mess with your plans for at least a turn.
Okay.
We did say we were going to gang up on him, right?
Yeah. It basically means from this point on, everyone
You shouldn't have
gets
set him up.
2 free turns.
Satellite. Okay. Your
Keep-
turn.
I'm playing a contract.
Ah,
3.
getting that one
Well, I'm
Six
stuck with
points,
the
right?
cards I have,
makes
so I
sense.
can't play
Yeah.
anything. That's
So
Yeah,
6
that makes
points?
sense. It's 6 points, and it has the ability choose any edge tile. I knew there was. Hey, Tiger Planet, welcome to the table. I knew there was one. There was one thing I wanted to explain, but I didn't, which is what defines an edge tile. So an edge tile is any tile that has at least 2 continuous sides exposed. So this is not an edge tile. This is not an edge tile.
okay.
These are all edge tiles.
Okay.
This is not an edge tile.
So what does this mean? So this means he can choose any edge tile that
That-
does not have a cube on it, and
Yeah. So Sam could literally take his satellite back after
Oh.
claiming it, which is really
Oh,
clever.
take it back.
Suck
to
it.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I was totally
Way to
thinking-
plan ahead, Sam.
Nice job. Okay.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Nice.
I'm going to draw.
I was totally good then, like try to play a satellite tile.
No, that was good. It also means that Sam has basically made that region smaller, so if somebody else wanted to build on it, they have to start over where at 2. So, works out pretty well.
Your turn.
I'm going to draw until I have 4 tiles in hand, so go ahead, Sam. Hey, look, lava.
Oh, I'll take this. That works.
Yeah, also keep in mind that, like, there's plenty of time to build a new region of the same color, even if a big region has already come out on the table.
Whose turn is it?
I think it's me.
Oh.
So I may regret what I did, but we'll see. Tough choices.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this.
We'll claim that
Yeah.
black onyx. Oh, make sure it's on the tile that you
Oh.
played, yeah. Just in case those other tiles get moved.
10 points, and I
Nice.
can draw 2 tiles.
Very nice. Awesome. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, I'm gonna draw contracts. If you could hand me 3, please. Now that I have all these fresh land tiles, I don't know what to do with them.
I hate my life.
Putting it back.
Yep.
All right. There's a satellite on the board, everyone.
Satellite!
Start trying to get points.
Satellite!
So this contiguous sand area has been claimed twice, right?
Yes,
Yes.
so it's
It's
dead.
worth nothing now.
It is, yeah, literally worth nothing.
It is dead to you. So this entire tile is a satellite, not just like the sand, right?
Yeah, no, the tile, for the satellites, it just matters that a tile's next to another tile that has a satellite.
Okay.
That's it.
Cool.
I want to find out what happens.
Okay? Our first satellites have teamed up. You've launched a satellite into space. There's your satellite card.
That's
You can use it on a future turn at any time during that turn. And they do cool things.
Do they now?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. I'm gonna play also another satellite then. I take a satellite card here.
Now the floodgates have been open and everyone's playing their cards that they saved. I've made a mistake, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing. I want in on Team Satellite.
I love how like, we've like totally given up on like matching anything at this point.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's just like satellite, satellite.
I got some applause just for playing that card.
Just this guy, you know.
Oh,
Wow. That's not good.
Welcome to the table.
All right. I'm playing this thingy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
is this on the green?
on the green.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So I
And
get
it's point-
8,
Yeah.
Well done.
and I get to draw a contract and optionally discard a contract from my hand.
Nice. Can finally get rid of the contracts you hate.
Yes.
Gonna draw up to, you get to draw up to 4 when you do that.
Yeah, you should
Draw until you have
draw
4 in
until you have
hand
4.
as your
In
action.
one turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Pretty
wish
great.
I knew that a few turns ago.
It's on your player reference in front of you, just
Yeah,
so you
what's his
know.
plan? I have a question. Do effects stack?
Possibly.
Hmm. Let's see. I just don't understand how this works.
I mean, if you can give me the thing on the back of the rule book, it tells you what every card is, so I could look and see if I can kind of understand what you might be asking.
I mean, like basically, I think what I'm trying to understand is.
Use the bathroom when you guys do
And
that.
yeah, I'll just say. So it says, in addition to your action this turn, you can move an edge tile in play that does not have a cube on it.
Yep.
So if I move an edge tile, I mean, I assume first of all that means I can move it anywhere.
Yep.
And if the tile that I move is a satellite tile, and I move it somewhere else where it also connects to a satellite, do I get another satellite card now?
No, because it's not a terraform action.
Got
So
it. Okay.
getting a satellite card is part of the terraform action.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That is good to know. Does that change what I do? And then there's no limit to the number of satellite cards that we can have in hand.
I do not believe so.
Okay.
There must be a lot if there are only 60 tiles in all those cards.
I mean, I don't think every card is meant to be drawn and played in a single game. I think it's just meant to have variety. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, is there anything else I can connect? Okay.
Wow. All right.
What was the call on the stacking?
The clarification was that the benefits that you get from doing a terraform action are specific to the terraform action and not other ways that you may end up moving or placing a tile. I think I am going to draw contracts.
Cool.
Sadly.
While you
This
do
is
that,
garbage.
I will draw tiles.
Seriously
Can I have
garbage.
a book, please? Merci.
Is this the deck of contracts?
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I just skipped you accidentally. Or no, you took a
No.
turn. Okay,
took
never
a
mind.
turn.
So it's your turn. I had this moment of, oh, she's still contemplating, and then I realized that you'd already done the
I'm
satellite.
like always contemplating.
I know the feeling.
I am okay, I am going to draw a contract.
Great. I am going to cry and do something worthless.
I'm going to play the blue tile and claim a contract.
Nice.
I'm gonna sabotage.
Oh,
Damn it!
no, what does that do?
When any other player is using the terraform action, once they select a place to play their tile, you may play this satellite card to force them to play their tile elsewhere. They may not change the tile played or their action.
Damn. So you can place that tile in any other spot except where you placed it. You do get to take the contract and your cube back.
Cool.
So if you wanted to build off of this one instead and get the lesser points on a bigger one, you could, or you could just move that tile somewhere else and do something else with it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
So still claiming it, this time for 8 points instead
plus
of 10.
2.
And then plus 2 for the bonus. So still got 10 points at least.
Nothing personal.
He just really wanted that blue section.
And then
He didn't want you to steal it.
sabotage card?
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Think you needed to sabotage Jordan.
I'm not doing anything that exciting right now. Honestly,
Coasting on your lead, you say?
yes, that's exactly what I say.
I'll go here and terraform.
And I'm gonna sabotage you.
Oh!
Get wrecked.
Go Team Soylent Red.
You can flip that tile over and use the other side when you replace it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Wait, I didn't know that.
You can't put it in that same spot, but you can do whatever you want with it. You just have to play the same tile, but you have to play it somewhere other than that spot,
Gotcha.
right?
Mm,
You do not have to put the cube on it.
really?
No.
You can
The cube part technically takes place after she sabotages you. So you essentially play the terraform, and then she sabotages you before you get a chance to fulfill a contract.
Yeah.
So the cube never was actually on the tile.
She just knows you intended to.
Yeah.
Even though it says they may not change their tile played or their action.
The action
The action
is
is still
is
terraform.
choosing to
plan or
terraform.
sign.
Gotcha.
Claiming a contract is not an action. That's just a thing you get to do after doing it. But yeah, the double sabotage for go Team Soylent Red. I like it.
Wait, what's the? Oh, I was like, who's Soylent Red?
Actually,
But you can't change the tile.
right. Just kidding.
Actually,
Testing you.
yeah.
Hey.
Testing.
All right.
Okay.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right.
Sorry, this is like way too funny. I'm like, what's going on here?
Wait, did we do something weird with the contracts?
This is the pile. Those are some discards.
We've discarded this many?
Yeah. I've drawn twice and I've discarded at
Oh,
least 3.
those all go to the bottom.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Because there's no
You're
shuffle
right.
mechanic.
You're right.
Including those guys?
No. There's a discard, but if you read the action,
Got
it says
it.
draw 3, keep 1, but no more than keep at least one,
Return
no
the
more
rest
than
to
2,
the bottom
return
of
the
the
rest
deck.
to the
You're right.
bottom.
Yep. Good call.
Okay. Since this thing is in high demand, apparently,
You're just gonna claim it?
I'm going to claim it.
Wow.
Eh?
Sam,
No.
you have a satellite card. Don't look at
Any
me.
more sabotage cards?
No. I don't care about the blue.
Okay. That's 4. So that's 10 points, please.
And you get to
red.
draw a satellite card. Wow.
10 points to red, and
You
I'll
sp-
draw satellite.
You spent a satellite, you got a satellite. Nicely done. All right. Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do this, and then we're gonna play a satellite card. In addition to your action this turn, you may also use the terraform action, and we're gonna terraform over here,
OP.
right there. Just put
Oh, that's a
Okay.
lava thing.
putting some lava in your way.
Okay, so basically what you're doing here is you are blocking the white.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, what's the point of that?
Or am I trying to connect the blue? I don't know. Maybe both.
Is that your turn?
He drew more contracts, yeah.
Yeah, I drew my contract, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not super happy with my contracts right now. Here he comes to save the day. Dun dun dun.
I'm going to draw tiles.
Kicking myself for wasting 2 additional turns drawing when I could have just taken 4. Ugh.
It happens to the best of us.
I'm going to also draw back up to 4 since I have none. Hopefully get something less garbage than what I had before.
So this is like golf where you're trying to get the lowest score, right?
Yes. Yep, that's
That is
the
the
part I
scale.
neglected to mention.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. That's exactly how it works actually. Yep. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Oh, you're done.
I mean, I drew tiles.
I drew tiles as well.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play.
Ooh,
This
that's a
tile.
5. Is he gonna claim it?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Sorry, when you said 5, I got confused.
Oh, sorry. Boom. That's 11 points.
Oh, and I
And
get
you
to
get another turn.
So I
What?
think
You gave yourself 10, just
Yeah,
FYI.
one more.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to play
Sam's already catching up.
here.
We need to stop Sam before it's too late.
Ooh, and he
So I
gets
can get a satellite.
Boom. Well
Sweet.
played, sir.
Nicely done, nicely done.
You can't get 2 satellites at once, can you?
No, I
No.
only
But
drew
he
one.
was
Yeah.
also playing 2 turns, like his.
Yeah, he did 2
contract
separate
fulfillment
turns,
Was like
yeah.
1 turn and then the second turn.
But if he had played it like here, for instance, it wouldn't be 2.
No.
Okay.
No, it's just you played a satellite next to another one, and thus you launched a satellite.
Gotcha.
That's how that works. Dum da dum.
I will
Still got plenty of tiles left, just in case.
grab a few.
In case people were wondering how close we were to the end of the game, we've got some time.
Okay, then it's my turn.
Let me get some pretzels. Not peanut butter ones though.
Oh,
I have a question.
yes.
So if I if I move this tile to say here, for
You
example.
can't move that tile because
You
it
can't.
has a cube
There's
on
a
it.
cube on it.
Unless you have something that very specifically
got
that
it.
says move the thing with a cube, which I am not aware of.
Okay, because it has a cube on
Yep.
it. therefore I can't move it.
Cube.
Because I was about to ask, does that mean that this area is now claimed?
Nope.
How does that work?
Yeah, I think once a cube is on a tile, it's stuck there,
It's
which is why you
invisible.
have to make sure you put the cube on the tile you played, to keep everyone honest.
Okay, that makes sense.
Finally drew some decent tiles.
I do not have decent tiles.
For a while there, all I had were like the same 2 colors on all of my tiles.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Now I have, and of course, none of them were my contracts.
Yes. That is always the best part.
Which is why I burned my satellite just to get them out of my hand so I could draw new ones. That made me sad. I could have.
Wait, are we all done?
No,
Yeah,
sorry,
okay.
I'm
Additional endgame scoring is every unused satellite card is worth 2 points at the end
Dose.
each. Otherwise, no. It is just what you fulfilled from
taking a
contracts.
satellite card.
Okay. I too would like to join the satellite party.
So I am going to do the contract thingy
Nice.
and also play my satellite card, which lets me
Do something else in addition.
do
to
the draw land tiles
The
in
plan
addition.
action. Nice.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Okay. But he can
Would
play
you
while we do
perhaps
that,
like to
right?
do the plan action first so that you can look at what tiles you have when
mean, you-
deciding your contracts?
Yes, I just did not know if that's legal.
Yeah, you can do it in any order. It's
Okay,
just saying you get an extra of this specific type of action. Ah, yes. Mr. Draco has said that there is a specific satellite card that is worth 6 points just because of what it is. You do not have to have played it. You can just reveal it at the end of the game. And it says that on the card, just in case viewers at home were wondering if one of us would get tricked into playing it early. The card says you do not have to play this. You can reveal it at the end of the game.
Okay, I think you can play while he's doing that. and
Yeah.
then it affects.
Mr. Draco, either you are a great researcher or you have played this game before.
Bit of both.
Perhaps both. He's reading the rules right now.
So for something like this, these guys are not connected,
Nope.
right?
Correct.
So
No.
you can connect
But
them.
you can connect them
can
with
play
another
something
tile,
there,
absolutely.
But they're currently not connected.
It's kind of annoying, isn't it? 3 blue very close together, not connected.
Very.
One might think it would even be intentional.
I don't know what you're talking about. He started it.
Truth.
He had Jeffrey had the opportunity to connect them, and he chose not to.
I did?
Yeah, you placed this tile. You could have just rotated it.
Well, I didn't have a blue contract at the time.
Yeah.
At the time, he says.
I mean, I think there's a pretty cool blue over here. Oh wait.
You could move
there's
that tile.
there's 5 spaces where you could start a blue world.
There are lots of places where you could start a world.
I'm gonna put this guy here.
It'd be funny if we ended up with
Was that like ours?
Onyx circle around the hole.
Okay, I think. So I want to know, can I do this? Oh well, no wait, I don't want to.
Makes sense, Mr. Draco. I do the same thing. Trying to figure out how to connect them. There's a way to connect them. That is one way. Rotating it in that open space is the other way. One more. Yeah. Nope. That could do it as well if you wanted.
But you lose.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you can't connect them both all at the same time, but you can do that for 5.
Okay, wait, just do I want to do it that way?
Or you could just wait. Perhaps someone will unwittingly play into your hand.
Not now.
Someone named Jordan.
Yep.
Does this work?
Actually, almost,
No,
but not quite.
it does the
Because
opposite
it
of
doesn't
it.
touch the middle.
It would almost. Oh, well, no,
No.
it almost works, but it can only get 2 out of the 3, so it's the same problem.
And also, they aren't contiguous in between them, right?
No, that's definitely connecting between. Yeah. That's why it's.
Really?
That's why you see the color. You see it through. So it's a 3-way, just like the. See how there's very clearly a gap of the color?
Let me understand. So what is this?
Yeah.
So basically, this.
It's just a weird tile to have to line up with other things.
So
But if
this
you use.
will-
That'd be 5.
Okay, wait, no, I think I know how to do this.
She's just like, I'm going to take 2 terraform actions this turn and
Axe.
connect everything.
Axe.
Okay,
Axe.
so this is the first I'm going to do. In addition to your action this turn, you can move an edge tile and play that does not have a cube on it.
Oh,
So I'm going to move.
That's not an edge. Is
yes,
anything
it
with-
is actually.
Okay,
It's got
anything with
2.
2.
Anything with 2 consecutive edges that have nothing touching them
Which
is an edge tile. Yep, and you can place that wherever you want.
Place that here.
That,
So
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I
Now you can play that to connect the other one.
Yeah.
6, 7, and then she gets the mega point swing,
And I'm claiming this contract now.
which is worth
So,
28
1, 2, 3, 4,
points.
5, 6. Yes, that is 7. Yep.
And she gets to draw a satellite card.
Yep.
How about like
That's
a finder's
nuts.
fee or something?
Remember
Someone
when
set
you all
up?
were worried about me? No, just kidding.
Okay, so I got my. Wait, I'm red.
Oh, did you give yellow 28 points?
I'll take
Good
it.
job, Jeffrey. That's even worse.
I think
Now
it was
she's at
actually lower
48.
than that.
Okay.
I think yellow was at 15.
Yeah, I think yellow is at 15 as well. Yellow should have been, yeah, that
okay,
makes sense.
and then now I draw a satellite card. Cool.
Well, that was nuts.
Point explosion. Ha!
I'm just
Yeah.
going to. I'm just going to keep taunting Jeffrey
Oh,
here and play another not quite connected blue card so that I can draw a satellite.
That's not mean at all.
Not at all, no.
No, not in the slightest.
I'm never mean.
Somewhat
Oh.
sabotage.
I'm going to play the Onyx for 17.
Ah.
Dang.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to
What?
piggyback. When any other player scores a contract, you can play this satellite card, reveal and discard a contract. Oh wait, never mind.
I think you're at 52.
No, I can't do this. Never mind.
Oh, was that at 35?
Yeah.
You can keep reading it though, so we know what it does.
No.
Nope.
Okay, and I will draw a contract.
And then optionally
Optionally
discard,
one.
which is pretty nice.
That was not the way I thought that worked. Anyways, that's fine.
I will opt to not discard.
Jeffrey, this is your chance. Connect the blues. I've set it up. I've set you up the bomb. I believe in Team Yellow. That's a solid point explosion. Yeah, both of them actually.
I'll take what I can get. Oh, that doesn't work, does it?
Yeah, no, you needed the.
Not the way you want.
Do you have another one that's a 3, like half blue? Because a half blue would do it. But yes, I am taunting you just a little bit. I didn't know what tiles you had, but I just thought it was funny placement.
Draco asks, when's the next giveaway?
Not sure. I think we're definitely going to do a giveaway next month. I don't know what week. We're still working out some details with a few options.
We
So-
time our giveaways for weeks Dark Citadel is not available.
Yeah. Dark Citadel's not here. We're giving away right now.
No,
wait.
Citadel was here.
Damn it.
This green is on blue.
Yeah.
Yes,
Green is
sadly.
on
The
blue.
blue's been double claimed.
Yeah, I was about to suggest that as well. I'm just waiting for somebody to get the satellite cards that lets them place something over an existing tile, and then they just like connect two things massively and get a bunch.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, Citadel won 3 giveaways in a row. I think it was.
So
Okay,
that's
so your
5,
second claim of the
Yep.
5.
and
Claim
that's
2.
worth 8 points. And then any edge tile that does not have a cube on it.
You can move or
Take.
take. Oh, take.
Nice. So if there's a
Nice.
tile out there that you really like, perhaps
Like a satellite tile.
yeah, perhaps a satellite in colors that you like or something. I don't know.
So this is not an edge.
No.
No, because there's only
Sadly
one
not.
showing. But like this is an edge.
Yeah, though that probably doesn't help him because he wants to link those 3 that have already been placed.
Oh,
There may be blue on the backs of these too.
but you don't know.
You don't know until you pick them up.
I mean, technically, this is an edge, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
Based
It is
on
an
your
edge.
definition of
It is
two
an
tiles.
edge.
Yeah, it is an edge. I
It's
never
not
won
super
it.
I
useful,
couldn't
but
connect it here. could
yeah,
I?
you couldn't. But you could place it to start working on a bigger group.
Yeah.
I would honestly take my chances with one of the satellites being blue on the other side.
Mibs.
And I would probably pick this one because I think ones that are half on one side are also half on the other side for the most part.
Is that truly true?
Not true for me.
Okay.
He has disproven it.
I'm gonna take this and hope for the best.
All right.
Okay.
And then I got 8 points for that yellow.
Yellow. 8 points to yellow.
Boom.
23. Oh, what do I want to do? It's my turn. Okay.
Yeah, there's a fair number of tiles left.
Do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go claim this. It's 2 players, so that's 12 points. Oh no, I'm not green.
God, that's not me.
Red.
Sam's trying to give himself free points.
Okay, I get
Classic.
to draw 2 tiles.
Yep.
That is something I would do.
Classic.
And then just want to see if there's anything else I want to do. And then in addition to my action this turn, I can also use a sign action.
Nice.
So I'm gonna take.
He's going to take some contracts.
contracts.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm going to plan.
Is that all you're gonna do?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Well, okay. Then I would just try
No,
to take my action if I.
Yeah. No, I think I'm going to plan. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna get in the satellite business.
I drew the tile that Jeffrey wanted.
Nice.
It is the all-water satellite tile. Rip.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm like still discarding. I don't know why I discard. I'm going to discard. I think I discarded this one. I'm going to discard this one.
Discarded ones go at the bottom.
Yes.
Contracts?
Yes, they go at the bottom of the deck.
I discard this card.
Oh, can you grab that one?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it goes on the bottom of the deck.
Wait, where are those ones then?
Those are the ones that we discarded at the very beginning of the game.
Oh, okay.
And there's also some actions that literally say discard,
Got
Yeah,
it. Okay.
like discard one contract.
All right.
Okay.
So now I think it has gone
My
back
turn,
to your
yeah.
turn. Yes.
Well, I was trying to decide. what I
No
didn't
worries.
want.
Nothing important happened.
I'll be the judge of that.
Nothing important happened.
This is a lot of green. Oh, it's a full green tile.
Lot of green. Lot of green. Bum ba bum bum ba bow. Man, Cynthia is way ahead, and that's scary. That 28 pointer was
So.
nuts.
3, 4, 5, 6. So
You need
is
8.
there a way to connect these?
There is a way to connect them.
Is there one?
Well, it depends on what tile you have.
No, I don't think there is a way to connect them. Maybe I can't.
What's the number you're trying to hit?
No, it's not even.
She's just.
I guess
Yeah.
I don't. Actually, I don't need to connect them. So I
If
just
you
realized.
have a 7, just play it.
No, I just realized. Yeah, I don't actually need to connect them. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't even need to connect them. Okay, so 7.
For 17 points?
points.
What?
I draw a contract and optionally discard a contract.
So. Wow. So she's at 77. Sam's at 52. I'm still at the 37 I was on like the third turn.
You've got plenty of
And
stuff to play.
Do I want to
Jeffrey's at 23. We're doing great.
Go team.
Make
All
it suspenseful.
All discarded contract. The ones discarded initially should be shuffled into the remaining deck at the start. Oops. Shuffle them now.
I guess we've got to restart.
Yeah.
That would have changed the outcome for me.
It's all right. Thank you, Zovico. You sound like someone who knows what you're doing.
Unlike the rule book.
I mean, the rulebook probably does explain it. I apologize.
Unlike Jordan.
Yeah, that was better. Yeah. Actually, it just says choose 2 of their contracts to keep and return the other 2. It
Well, I
doesn't-
did design
Yeah.
the game.
Welcome.
Oh, really?
Unlike
have-
the designer.
We have the designer in
Seriously?
chat, everyone. Welcome to the stream. We appreciate you
How
stopping
did-
by.
How did he find us, or she find us?
We're just
Probably
famous.
told that we were streaming the
Good
game.
point, because they
Twitter.
didn't set that up.
Yes.
So they must have been.
The Twitterverse is powerful or
Okay.
something.
What are you doing?
I
Do it
am
quickly.
doing a thing not quickly.
As usual.
Yeah, I know.
Zovico, are there any cheat codes or anything I can do to tighten it up?
Well, no, you still have like 4
right.
contracts that you could fulfill.
I'm just gonna do that and pass my turn.
So there's tons of things that you could do. You still have a lot of opportunity to catch up. You're just not fulfilling
It's
your
true.
contracts.
It's true. You do have 4 contracts left that you can do. Poke the other players in the eye. That's the recommendation. I like it, Zovico. Yeah, red has a commanding lead, but only 1 cube left.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be enough?
I don't know.
We are getting low-ish, but I think Sam's trying to accelerate the end of the game here. Perhaps. Mayhapsies. There's still enough, but definitely claim contracts if you can at this point, I think. Unless you're red, who has a little bit of time because you only have 1 left to do.
Yeah. I mean, Sam too.
Sam
turn
only
is it
Sam
then?
only has 1 left
Whose
as well.
turn is it?
It's Jeffrey's turn.
Yeah, I'm in a worse spot for only having 1 contract left.
This is true. Unless you're trying to connect blue tiles futilely. Oh. You
gave
can
up
do
on-
it.
I
Who
gave
was
up
doing
on the
that?
blue contract. It is gone.
Whoa.
Wow, we're not good at this.
Sam is 2 for 2.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't me.
It was probably the tug on this because it.
I
Oh,
didn't do anything. I
oh!
didn't do anything.
I see how it was.
They've been baiting you.
She was getting us to fight.
Yeah.
That's why she's in the lead.
Yeah. Every time you moved your arm, she would tug on it.
It's
and make
basic. That is the Mike equivalent of poking other players in the
Alright.
eye. Hacks.
Anti-Cynthia team.
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right, let's do it.
Yay.
I've got nothing, guys.
Block her.
So I will take
A
a
satellite
satellite,
card.
please.
You could play it here and claim a blue if you still have your blue contract.
I don't have it anymore.
Oh no.
Are you sure you want to play it in that rotation? You know?
Yes, he is.
Maybe there's another rotation you
Or
would enjoy
not.
playing it
Or
as?
not.
You would like that, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
This is the
Maybe.
chaos alignment
Maybe.
at this point.
Yeah. Do block Cynthia with what
See,
other
that was
color
my
she's
problem.
going
Like
for.
my last turn, I was really trying to think about playing a tile in a way to try to screw Jordan, but I was like, that doesn't help me, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
but
basically.
I really wanted to.
I mean, it's already happened a couple
I
times.
really wanted.
There's a reason I haven't fulfilled a contract since very, very early in the game.
Is it Cynthia? Is Cynthia's the reason?
Actually, it was Jeffrey.
What did I do or not do?
Hacks.
You blocked me from fulfilling a contract like 10 minutes ago,
I'm
and I
sorry.
haven't been able to do anything since.
Your turn.
But now is the time to reveal my master plan.
And that plan
Which is
Which is
that I'm going to do this,
and do a red.
which I was really afraid that you were going to screw me on this, but you didn't. And then, in addition to your action this turn, you may also use the terraform action,
Oh, sweet.
and I'm going to do this,
Nice.
and then I'm going to claim that 6-banger,
Sweet.
which is going to be
A large number of points.
21 points, and I get to draw 2 tiles.
So that's 58.
I'm at
Takes you to
58,
58. Blue.
and there.
Nice. Yeah. And he still has 2 tiles left.
This is my last-minute desperate charge. I guess this can be discarded. You guys have some there. That's fine. Jeffrey's play is collect satellite cards for points. I see it. I see it over there. He's got a lot of them. Yeah, I don't know if my strategy is going to be enough at this point. This is kind of rough.
This is hard
I'm running low on time.
on everything.
So there's no way to reduce somebody's score in this game, right?
Not
No.
after the fact.
Nope. Once they score it, it's theirs. I wish I had better satellite cards. Speaking of,
you know how many tiles are left?
Unclear. I don't think that's public knowledge. You can probably feel
Yeah.
it, though.
Not many. The game is likely to go on to the final turn in the next couple of times people draw.
Okay.
If you can-
Maybe not the next time. I don't know because I'm trying not to count them. But it is very light and there are not many left.
I think the point being, if you can claim contracts, you should probably
Yes,
do so.
absolutely.
Probably start doing
If you can block Cynthia, do it now.
You don't even know what you're blocking me.
You only have 2 colors on that tile.
That's true.
So it's
They're
either
both
gonna be Onyx Mountain or Desert, and the only good Desert already has been doubly claimed. So and the only good Onyx has already been doubly claimed. So few options remain.
Can I get any more than 3 with a desert piece?
I don't think so,
Doesn't sound like it.
but you can get 3. Oh, you want to move the scoreboard real quick?
What is that?
That is 4 points for me.
And
I take another turn.
ooh,
Sweet.
here he comes to save
Alright,
the day.
end game on draw is what?
When someone draws the last tile, everyone gets 1 more turn, including the person who drew the last tile.
Okay.
So the person who drew the last tile gets
2 turns.
2
one
turn.
turn after the
1 turn
draw.
after the current turn in which they draw it out. Yes.
Have we drawn the last tile?
Nope.
No.
Oh.
And that's because the person who draws the last tile is literally sacrificing their whole turn to draw that tile, so they get another chance to do something with it. They're still only going to get to play 1 tile.
Yeah.
So it's basically a desperation play of, I don't want to play any of my existing tiles. I'm hoping to get something better that
Yeah.
works for a contract that I need. That's what it comes down to.
So I'm taking another turn.
Yes.
If I place, I cannot terraform.
You can because it's a new turn.
Yeah, it's a new turn, so you can terraform.
Yeah,
again.
so you can.
So
Sorry,
claim
you
another
can.
contract
You
if
mean
want.
you can claim you if you terraform, you can claim another contract.
you can.
Yes.
Okay.
You definitely can.
Then I'll play this.
Okay.
Oh, claiming.
And you're
for
gonna play
4.
a. Are you playing a satellite card, or just
Yeah, you're just gonna
claiming
claim
a
for 4.
contract
Just claiming the contract.
for 3?
Yes.
Yeah, 3.
And what contract
That's
is
worth
that?
6 points rather.
6 points.
Nice.
And I get 2 tiles.
Hold on, let him. Are you
I'm piggybacking.
okay?
So that all this is like when a player scores a contract, you can play this satellite card to reveal and discard a contract of the same terrain type and score 1 point per tile. So it's just 3 points.
Okay, nice.
But it's 3 points. I
Yeah,
think,
it's
yeah,
3.
before.
The,
And I
it's 1
discard.
point more than the card would have been worth unplayed.
So 3 points for me.
And are you?
I get 2 tiles.
You get 2 tiles. Okay.
Do you get anything for completed contracts at the end?
Well, it's
I think
not-
it's a tiebreaker, but other than that, no.
Okay.
Oh,
My turn.
Yes.
Uh,
He did not end the game.
she
You're
ended
gonna
the game.
Are you going to draw? Keep in mind that if you want to get more contracts, you should do that first because you may end the game and give yourself no chance to.
But I literally have like no tiles.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm saying if you draw contracts first, you could draw tiles later, right? Unless you think someone else is going to draw tiles, and we all have at least 2. Sam and I both have 3.
And
So
you guys could
if you
still-
want to do another contract, you should draw those first.
Okay. I'll do
Um,
that. Oh, this is such a pain.
yeah, the doing 1 action per turn makes it. You have to think very clearly about how that's going to work.
Go for it.
I am definitely going to do a thing. But the first thing I'm going to do... no, I'm not going to do that. Crap. Yeah, I think I got to do it this way. Okay. I'm going to play this. And I'm going to fulfill a contract on there. And that contract is worth 12 points, sadly.
So.
But I
blue,
score
12 points
1
each.
for every one I've already completed, so it's another 4. And then I get to draw a satellite because I connected satellites.
Nice.
So, best I could do. Oh, man. That would have been a great satellite card to draw like half an hour ago.
Oh shit, I did not understand the satellite card. I could have used it more strategically.
Okay. So I'm gonna play the Terraform satellite.
You only get one card per turn. Remember that.
One satellite card.
One satellite card per turn. So choose wisely.
Well, you guys suck.
Unless you're fulfilling a contract that gives you an extra turn, in which case you could play 2 on separate turns.
That's it.
Okay?
Me?
Yep.
I'm going to play this satellite card. When using the terraform action, you may place your tile on top of any other tile that does not have a
That's
The
trigger
big
on it.
one!
Little
All right, how are you doing this?
So I'm gonna go like that, and I get a satellite, right?
Yeah.
And that's 4.
Oh, and then
Oh, the second 4.
for the record,
That-
if you play it here, you get to connect this one as well, and you still get a satellite.
Call. Thank you.
And you're welcome,
it's
Sam.
not gonna make a difference.
But it's worth more points.
Yeah.
Does he connect it though?
Yes,
Yeah.
It was messy.
Ah,
I think so.
no,
actually,
I don't
maybe
think
it doesn't.
does. I don't think it does.
No. Oh, I'm
It does
sorry.
not.
I lied.
Wait,
If it were a
doesn't?
half. If it
Oh,
were a
it's gotta
half.
be more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But this one is bigger.
That's
This
been
one is
claimed?
already 4. Well, this one's
No,
already
it's
been
already
claimed.
double
as
No,
well.
no, no,
It's
no,
double
no, no, no.
Oh.
But if you hold on.
Oh, you're right. It's double claimed.
Hold on. If he places it there, it's no longer contiguous.
But it wouldn't actually be bigger at that point. The point was he could get to 5 if he expanded it. If he covers to break it up, then it becomes only the same.
Unless it doesn't matter depending on his contract.
Yeah, I think you were what you were doing before was fine. I apologize.
It's all good. Thanks for
I
trying
thought
to
I
help.
thought I saw those connect in my head. And I was
So 1, 2, 3, 4. The second.
And
whatever
so that's 10 for me,
Yay.
yes,
plus
plus
4 for these guys.
yeah, so 14.
Wait, no.
Or
it's
5?
No, yeah, 5. Because it's the
So I'm
claim
up
2,
to
not.
48. I
Wait.
think.
What do you
No,
mean plus
Look
5?
at the contract again.
What is its ability is?
So it's 4, so that's 5 points because it's
Yes.
claimed in-
Oh,
and
it's the
plus-
second one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 points plus
plus a
another 4,
point
so it's
for
9
existing
points.
contracts fulfilled.
So 9.
Yeah, so that's
And a
9.
satellite card.
Cool.
Nice.
So if you can give yellow
9 to
9.
yellow.
Hey, you're at the best number, 42.
Okay.
Good job.
Now I will draw tiles.
And
Is
let's
that
see.
like the universe number?
Yeah,
And it is
that in
indeed
the
the
game?
last tiles. Yep. Everyone gets one more turn.
including Cynthia. So
Including myself.
everyone has one more turn to give it their all. I think I only have one play available. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna do. Let me not make the same color problem that happened to Sam earlier. I'm going to claim that a second time.
That's
Sadly.
for claim 2 of 4.
Yeah. So that's worth 5 points, and I get a satellite card, and then I draw 2 tiles. But there aren't any, and it doesn't matter at this point.
I hate life.
What is that? You get 2 terraform actions?
No.
Oh, it's the same one that he has?
Oh, is that the lava thing?
Oh, you wanted to make like a massive.
Oh no, it's a red thing. It's a red lava.
yeah.
I would have gotten 6.
Instead, you only get 5. Damn.
Yeah. For an action that had no additional value for him.
Sorry.
We had a deal. The deal was to beat Jordan. And now I can't.
Wait, shouldn't that have been worth more than that?
15 for a 5.
Oh, I thought you only gave yourself 10 there.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay. I was going to say, yeah, it would be worth 15.
Well, it's-
And then that goes there. Yep. And oh, you can also bring a tile into your hand, which may be important for the upcoming
Yeah,
turns.
that's true.
You can pick up 1 tile, perhaps to prevent
Any
Cynthia from
tile,
scoring more
or-
points. Any edge tile that does not have a
Edge
cube
tile.
on it.
Got it.
Yeah. So there's not a lot that this could affect, but it could affect the final turns
Yeah, that is
for our contenders. But I'm pretty sure Cynthia won because I don't have enough satellite cards saved. So That 28 pointer was brutal.
Yeah, that was.
Which one?
She
Wait, what did
played
you-
two.
Well,
What did
she
you
the other one she only got 17 out
Yeah.
of, but still.
Alright,
Yeah,
guys.
I knew I was taking a risk, so
Your turn.
I do not have any contracts, so I can't score, can I?
correct. But
Unless you
I
have
do
a satellite
have this,
card, no.
but I don't think that helps
you should
me.
save unplayed ones because they're worth 2 points at the end.
Okay.
Um,
I do have this though, so
You
this-
could place it to try and block something that you think Cynthia might do. Definitely don't create contiguous blocks of color. That would be bad. But if you wanted to try and block something that you saw potentially building, you could do that.
I don't think it'll make a difference at this point. So I'll go here and grab one of these guys.
Oh,
Okay.
did I have a card I was supposed to?
My turn.
No, it wouldn't have mattered. Damn.
I feel the same way.
Oh, sorry. Instead of taking your turn, you can get 2 points if you have. Wait, it's
Oh.
if he has no contracts, and I thought there was a second thing. I think you also have to have no tiles. Let me double check.
I did have one tile, and I got 2 points anyway from my satellite.
No contracts, no tiles. Or no
Yeah.
tiles.
No contracts or no tiles. So in this case, but you played a satellite, so it's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you got the 2 points either way. Yes, that's a good call out though, Mr. Draco. No one's ever had that situation occur yet, but you were very close.
I'm just that skilled.
Okay. I'm going to do this.
Zoviko, I have
1, 2, 3.
never mind. I don't have a
claim
question
This.
because it was.
Not yet.
points.
Not yet. Not yet. When
Uh-huh.
fulfilling a contract, increase the size of your claimed area
Oh.
by 1. So now it's a 4 instead of a 3. So that gives me 10 points.
I knew
In
that would be.
addition to.
Wait, how is it a 4?
So
Oh,
it's
I see.
a 3.
It's a
this,
3 that you.
this makes
yep,
it a 4.
Yep, you're right.
So that's 10 points, and then score 1 point for every other contract you've already
Which
filled,
is
so
5.
5.
Oh,
And
we got
then-
crushed.
Is that the tile you played?
Yeah, this is a tile.
No, that you was
I
you.
won.
Did you
Yeah,
play
that
this
was-
tile?
He played that tile.
So you actually helped her get
Yeah.
more
Oh
points
my
at the end.
goodness.
He helped me get
That was
4
like the
extra
only place
points.
that you could play that would be near
Plant.
color.
Plant.
Plant.
The mission
Plant.
was a success. Jordan didn't win.
That's not what he's gonna say.
Sam's just salty because he didn't beat me.
Well, we still
Actually,
have the
no, it's
satellites,
true.
right?
Does anybody have satellites that are worth 6 points?
I do.
I do.
Oh wow!
Oh, snap.
Special.
So Sam gets 6 for that,
what? I didn't know that there were such valuable satellites out there.
I got
and
10.
he gets another 10. Now I have 3 extra.
So you
Sam
get
has
6
1
points.
extra.
I won.
So I get 6 points. I go up to
Well,
80.
I'm gonna do
Oh,
that
okay.
First.
And then
Now I go up to 80. You have none.
I used up all my.
And
satellites.
Cynthia wisely used her cards efficiently to destroy us all. Good game.
Well done.
Yes.
Interesting.
All right. So
I blame the game designer.
for
Certain colors were not very clear, sir.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
That is actually the first thing. So, post-game thoughts, component quality, and artwork.
I have a complaint. No, I would just demonstrate for the stream. Like I think it's obvious after you start playing it
It's also obvious when they're right next to each other.
and when they're
but-
right next to each other. But like what happened was I had 2 greens in my hand, opening hand, and I was like, oh, well, I can just get value out of playing the brown spots, not realizing it wasn't brown.
Right.
And it's literally that like brown striping.
Yeah, and they're both kind of stripy
It's
lines.
a different, the texture.
So the texture isn't that dissimilar. When they're right next to each other, it's very obvious which is which. But if you only have one,
And you haven't played the game before.
it's a little harder. I definitely agree. I do want to call out all of the cards are the nice linen finish that we love. Really nice cards. The tiles are sort of your standard thickness, but they're nice. I think other than the green brown, I like all the other colors and the uniqueness
Oh
of
yeah,
their
they're
shapes.
super unique. Yeah.
Which, for those of you who've watched the stream a lot, that's something
Well-
that I really care about. Is like things being colorblind friendly.
Yeah, I mean, to be
the
fair-
texture is helpful.
The red on red, again, like, unless you've played before, can get also a little confusing. Like this tile specifically.
Yeah, the guava.
Now, like, that's still pretty distinct, though. Like,
Yeah.
it's less confusing.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. Otherwise, like, there's not a lot to be said about artwork. The contracts themselves are not artistic, but they're very functional, and they like do a good job of helping you visualize what the contract means, what you need to have to claim it.
So I feel like I have an interesting question for the designer who can hopefully answer. Like, how much went into the individual point differentials? Because, like, I found scoring kind of interesting because, like, some were in multiples of 3s, and then you had 5. Like, a lot of stuff is in multiples of 3s.
Yes.
But then a lot of stuff isn't, and it's very random.
Right, there's some 8s and 10s.
Like,
and
it's 17s.
17s.
And so I'd be curious to, like, see how much those individual values, like, basically shook up the game during playtesting. Because I'm assuming that's the only reason you would have that kind of variance, right?
Right.
But that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so
One
let's.
of the things I wanted to understand
Yeah.
was actually just underneath like each kind of like card type. It says things like Ferguson and Son, Harms and
Yeah.
Falls. Like, is that relevant at all? or-
That is purely thematic. That's the name of the company you're fulfilling the contract for.
But it doesn't. There's not like an expansion or something where this actually comes into play.
Nope. In fact, if I remember correctly, almost all of these names are user generated because it was a
Oh.
reward in the Kickstarter that if you backed for a certain level, you could name a company on one of the contracts.
Mitten Corporation.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So that was pretty cool. I like House Gewalthofen.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Greenfire Games, clearly a game company, decided to.
Advertising.
Yeah,
I mean,
literally
smart,
Greenfire
that's
Games. Yeah.
smart.
Haramax Demolition Inc. Somebody's name, Sherry D. King. I like it.
I totally want it. Like, next time I see Jordan back something, I want to back something over him and just, like, call him out in a name.
Yeah. Okay.
You're like, that's fine. That's still my name on it.
Yeah.
It's very true.
You want to put my name in a game? I'm for it.
Okay.
If you want to have the Jordan Sucks Corporation, I'm fine. There was formula for the points for each area size. The only exception is one contract in each color that's worth fewer points per area because it gives you another turn.
Hey.
So
Oh,
there's
okay,
a
that
special
makes sense.
formula. Interesting.
That's cool. Yeah, I think, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Nice.
Yeah, I could, yeah.
What's the maximum number of points or average number of points during play testing that?
That's a good question. I mean, you definitely crushed the scoreboard.
But we
With
know that on the
95.
other side it went
Well,
up to 200.
So,
Yeah.
is
Do
there,
you want to show?
Yeah, go ahead and flip it over.
Because that
um,
actually went up to 200, and we thought about playing with this side, but we
We
thought that
figured
should
this would be
easier.
harder for just viewers to easily know where people stood in relation to each other, but it is really cool.
well, so,
I like that score track better.
and maybe I did not listen carefully to the rules in this context.
Oh, scores get higher with
Yeah, so you
fewer
are
players.
that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with less players, you get more cubes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
So that's why.
So, is there a discard mechanic for either contracts or tiles?
I don't think so.
The only discard mechanic that I
Is in,
is
yeah.
like draw a
In the
contract,
contract.
discard a contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For
I
4
think,
players, they're almost always under 100.
yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
I think that was my biggest call out is like when I mistook the brown, I had 2 contracts.
And you felt stuck.
Both were green. I drew another contract, which also did not help me get out of it, and my tiles didn't help.
Yeah.
So I like very early on had to play a 3 tile
Yeah.
just to get out.
I had the same problem. I had 2 red contracts at one point, and for basically until the end of the game, I had 2 red and a brown, and that was all I had. And I fulfilled them all, but it was suboptimal because I kept having to build all these red ones, and so everyone knew I was going for red, and people kept like messing with it. You almost connected the red I was building to the big red that had already been
Yeah.
built, and so that could have been disastrous.
So that was actually one of the plays I was thinking about. It was because I had redesign, I knew I could actually connect them and actually steal your ability to do that.
Right.
But again, back to the point of like that doesn't help me advance, and
Right.
it still puts Cynthia in the lead. So
Yeah.
it's like, why would I do that?
Yep.
I haven't read the instructions, so I may be speaking out of turn. But one thing that's really helpful for me in Carcassonne is you get, I believe you're allowed to reference the instructions at any time, which show you the number of tiles in each configuration, so that while I was struggling with the blue here, I could have figured out if
How
there
many
were
more
any
blues
full
were
or
left?
half tiles containing
Oh.
blue, so I can
Like left to
optimize.
draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely don't have that here.
Well, the challenge here
Um,
is also that it's double-sided, so
Right.
even like what you see.
It'd be really hard to like lay that out. I
Mhm.
think there's so many
the
different
double-sided
combinations.
mechanic is really interesting.
Yeah. And the fact that it's like multiple colors on each side of a tile, even there's like so many combinations. I don't even know if there's any two tiles that are exactly alike. I actually kind of doubt it.
We could.
Like maybe
Try.
one side is the same, but
Oh yeah, probably not exactly.
but not
alike.
exactly
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
on both
no.
sides, which would mean that you basically have to have a sheet that lays out all 59 tiles individually.
Oh.
But it'd be nice to have something that says like there are this many tiles that have this there are this many sides that have this color or something.
And that's right. It's also because in a lower player game, you get more cubes.
Yes, we said that.
I thought it was I thought I heard like you end up playing more tiles.
Oh,
because
no,
you were
no.
grabbing the tile back. But yeah.
No, more cubes. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about learning curve. How hard did you think this was to learn?
I think like the first turn was probably I made suboptimal choices partly because I misread my contract. I actually did not have a good excuse for misreading my contract. I literally just misremembered. I had I think I had like a black and like a white in my hand, and I for whatever reason I think I thought I had like a blue and a 10 or something. I just completely misremembered which cards I had in my hand. So. After the first turn or so, I think I like got the hang of it. But
Right. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I mean, I think as with most games, playing the game through is not super hard. I think knowing the value of satellites and what is available in terms of satellites,
What
does
satellites can
change
do,
things.
Yeah.
right? Like, because redesign, terraform.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, like, I had no idea there were 6-point satellites out there
Yeah.
until Endgame. Actually.
Yeah, I mean the
I wanted to go through them all, but like reading all 10 of them before the game started
Yeah.
would have made game explanation take that much longer.
Yeah, I mean the sabotage sequence. Like, I definitely think that maybe on an average game there may be some balance issues with satellites and RNG, but
Yeah.
it's not like because I think some of them are significantly more powerful.
I mean, one thing that you could do when you're teaching players for the first time is basically just remove this mechanic and give people 2 points when they would get a satellite card. And
That's
just
true.
and just not have these
But
cards.
I feel like we got it pretty quickly.
No, I think we did too. I think
It's
it totally depends on
balance.
who you're playing with
Yeah.
and potentially balance.
It's like playing Smash without items.
Yeah. I don't think it detracts from the game to not have these.
Yeah.
They just add another element of awesome like things,
Complexity.
complexity, and like in particular, it adds an element of you can't count on the board state 100%.
Yeah.
Which I think is good.
Interesting.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about like depth and breadth of strategy. How did you all feel about that?
I mean, it was good. I think is replayability in this or is it separate?
Separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it flows into a learning curve. Like I think it's clear what strategy should be, and like, you know, for example, when the brown tile was played, and I was like, I know it's not getting to me. I know Jordan's gonna intercept it. Like that's strategy coming into the game.
Right.
And that was easy to identify early on. So I think that like, yeah, it's not bad.
Did you all feel like you had? How did you feel about like the number of choices that you had, or like different ways that you could take your strategy in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like about right. For me, I personally like love really, really long, complex games. So this was probably still on the simpler side of what I personally really
Totally.
enjoy. But in terms of like having a game that you can play within say 2 hours,
Right.
yeah, like this is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I tend to err on the side of games that take 10 hours. But that's
Yeah.
just me.
I think the lack of a discard mechanic,
Yeah. Would you like to I don't know, have a
like trade 3 for 2, maybe.
Yeah.
Like discard 3 contracts,
Mm.
draw 3, discard 1, or back to the starting
So
Yeah.
that you're not
mechanic.
as stuck like in the
Yeah.
initial.
or even just what if it was what if the sign action was draw 2 contracts and you can discard or draw 2 or draw 3 and you can discard up to 1 less than you drew, including what you already have.
That
Yeah.
would be interesting.
Yeah,
Right.
like it mixes in your hand basically.
Right, mixes in your hand, and then it's just so you still have to have 1 more than you started with, so you can't completely trade out.
So how
But-
do you feel then about like the same thing from a tile perspective? Like, did you ever feel like you were stuck with tiles that you didn't really want, or did you always feel like there was a way to play them?
As a byproduct, yes. I think the interesting complexity, which I think is good, so I wouldn't take it away, is that satellite tiles on one side aren't satellites on the other
Yeah.
necessarily. So I think that complexity actually makes it super interesting
Yep.
because that's where I felt
Pros
like
and
triply
cons.
screwed by the end because I actually placed a tile strategically, even the other side was a satellite.
Yeah, and I did the opposite.
Yeah.
I placed something as a satellite that had a color I wanted on the other side
Yeah.
because I needed the satellite cards.
So
yeah, I mean, I think that's good in terms of forcing trade-offs.
I do feel like the tiles could stick you, but the fact that basically you had 8 tiles max at once because of the 2-sided helps balance that. Whereas contracts max 3.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I made some suboptimal decisions early on, and it was really tough for me to ever catch up because you can only claim things twice, and then like the penalty for being second
Right.
is pretty severe. I wish there were a way for like the third, fourth, or any subsequent people to get something, even if it's not as significant. And then I'd also, with the satellites, I wish there were some mechanic or limitation that didn't result in this grouping, because a lot of this was just like dumping
It was dumping.
to
It totally
to
was
score the
dumping.
satellite as opposed to helping us build larger chains.
Yeah. So we have a great comment from the designer, which is that the downside of allowing discards is that it allows people to cycle through contracts until they get the ones that match terrains other players are building, and allows for a strategy of only stealing the areas others are building up. It's very true.
That's fair. I mean, and then maybe a tile discard would have been slightly more appropriate.
Yeah, so it's like you're stuck with the contracts, but if you're stuck with the contract, at least you could maybe discard tiles to get more, to try and get the color you wanted. I mean, at one point, I literally burned a satellite card that gave me an extra terraform for the sole purpose of playing the last 2 tiles so that the next turn I could draw 4 because I had nothing in the color I needed. So I burned 2 turns and a satellite card just to try and start fulfilling my contracts. So I could see that.
Yeah. Or you could just make discards more punishing, right? Like discard 2, draw 1. Period.
Yeah.
Right?
But then you'd be kicking yourself if you got exactly like this.
Yeah, but if you're locked, no, but because you would still open a slot, right? So
Okay,
it's
okay.
to me, it's more like locking yourself in. Just
Yeah.
Got it. Because of the max 3.
yeah, because like getting a 6-point score is basically an opportunity cost of like 10 plus.
Right. That's true. That's true.
I wish there were a way to steal points or to close the gap between first and last place, whether through a satellite or like kicking
Yeah.
somebody off their spot or something.
Yep.
Yeah, that could, yeah.
For like the theme being competitive terraforming,
Right.
I don't see that reflected mechanically.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
I mean it is RNG. Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely some RNG there. Overall, I've been pretty happy with this as like an alternative to Carcassonne, because one of the one of the big complaints I have about Carcassonne is similar to the problem that Sam had with contracts, but it's just you put something out there and then it could get stuck forever, or like you put something out there and then everyone else fights you for it and it ends up being worth nothing. I really like that you don't have to claim something until you're ready to claim it. And so you can actually, like, when I built the white and the blue together early on, that was like a very conscious strategic decision, specifically because I knew I had a contract that would let me take another turn. And so nobody knew for sure what color I was going after, and it turns out I was going after both.
And for me, this is a lot more accessible than Carcassonne. I see people make lots of mistakes where they commit to something and then they're without it for the rest of the game.
Farmers.
Or they anticipate that something will be worth a lot. So the risk of committing to an individual action is much lower here.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And there's no
Yeah.
two stages where it's like complete or incomplete.
Right.
The scoring here is
Yeah.
more straightforward.
Here you have to deal with FOMO. But otherwise, I think it solves the Carcassonne problem rather elegantly. So yeah,
I liked it.
replayability.
I mean, for me personally, I think it would have a lot to do with
The
who
people
I
you
was
play
playing
against.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
And
is
I-
definitely more of like the personality and how well you know them and whether you want to actively block them, like be kind of like more aggressive, as opposed to kind of doing your own thing and minding your own business kind
Yep.
of strategy.
I mean, I think the upside of the RNG is that it adds a lot of replayability. You're drawing different tiles, different contracts, different satellites. So there's 3 different things that are being randomized.
I don't think we actually played that aggressive of a game. Like,
No,
I
we
don't
didn't.
think there was really any like, oh, I know you're going after this, therefore I'm actively going to try.
Yeah.
I consciously blocked this spot, and that was the only
Yeah.
thing that I did, other than just like slightly trolling Jeffrey with the water tiles. But mainly I was pretending to troll Jeffrey while I quietly built up a color I needed nearby.
Yeah, I actually mean the opposite, right?
Really?
So if your game is making optimal plays,
Yeah.
then you can strategically play around optimal plays.
What do you mean by play around?
Think of like the concept of Nash equilibrium, right? Like in game theory, if I know what your optimal play is,
Yeah.
I know what you're going to play
Sure.
based on my intuition of what you have in your
Yeah.
tiles.
Yeah.
Therefore, there's a predictable outcome.
Yeah.
If you're a purely unpredictable player,
If you're playing aggro, playing take that style.
yeah. So like if you and I get into a fight,
Yeah.
chances are Jordan wins. Like right, like you and I don't do that. But if we're all optimizing for our ability to win, then you might screw Jordan over at one point, then you screw me over next
Yep.
to maximize your play, not to be like take that because you screwed me over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm a big fan of playing with people who don't screw other people over due to emotions rather than actual game state. I'm fine if I get screwed over because the game state says this is the time to screw me over. That's fine. That's what games are all about when there are mechanics that allow for that.
You heard it here first. Games are about screwing Jordan over
Yep.
when appropriate.
So yeah, overall, I really enjoy this game. I really enjoyed playing it this time, even though I lost. I think I was a little too aggressive in what point totals I decided to take on my contracts early on because I saw opportunities to take a contract first, and that when I hit that dry spell where I spent half the game not fulfilling contracts, that hurt me because even though I filled every contract my last 2 were secondary point values that were not very high, and it just wasn't enough to close the gap. But yeah, overall, I felt like I lost because of strategic decisions that I made, which is what I want to feel, right? So I definitely enjoy this game.
I felt like I lost due to RNG and my inability to discern 2 colors.
Is this a full retail release right now?
Yes, it is a full retail release, and you can buy it at their website, Argyle Games, and you can get it for a 25% discount right now using the promo code TILTED because they were very generous in providing a promo code for tonight's stream.
Also
And
because I'm super tilted.
yeah, And as Mr. Draco said earlier, it's $29.99 plus shipping and handling before the discount. So take 25% off of that. I think that makes this a pretty good deal for being a sub $30 game, depending on where you live, of course. But, you know, I imagine that if you're in the U.S., shipping is not going to be that bad. It's not a huge box.
It's true.
Also, doesn't Amazon do free shipping?
Well, this is from their site.
This is their website. I mean, I think it is also on Amazon. I don't know what the Amazon price is. But you get the 25% discount from their website, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. It's on Prime. It's on Prime for $29.99. So it's the same price on Prime as it is on their website, but you don't get the 25% discount. So definitely go to their website, check it out. Also, that 25% discount is everything that they sell on their website. They have
that's a really good deal.
Yeah, they have another game on there. They
So
have
it's like I could bundle multiple things and get shipping bundled as well.
Yeah, they have another game on there. They have an expansion for that game. They have something else on there that I don't remember.
Do you think this game's gonna have an expansion?
Maybe
Well, I
the
don't
designer's
know.
here and
Actually,
perhaps
yes.
could tell us.
Designer Zovuko. I'm not
Zovuko.
quite sure where to put the emphasis. Is there going to be an
Zovuko.
expansion
I like
to
it.
this game?
I think there should be a satellite card that lets you turn any tile into a
Yeah.
satellite tile.
I feel like there could be some really interesting variants where maybe like certain resources are worth more money on certain turns or something like that.
Yeah, I would also be. I would also totally play. Nothing planned right now for expansions. I would totally play a variant that wouldn't have to be expansion. You could play with this. I would play a variant where the contracts are public and random. So there's like 4 contracts available at a time that everyone's going after.
That's interesting.
And then
too.
you're competing for the contracts as you lay things out. So you know what everyone's going for, but there are different ways that they could go based on what contracts are available. And then you claim the contract, and when you claim it, a new one gets dealt out. I think there's a lot of
I
ways
feel
that
like
you could,
that's a really good like 2-player variant.
yeah,
Like
definitely.
There's
4
like a-
could be rough, but like 2 definitely.
I would say number of contracts available is 1 more than the number of players, probably. So that you know 1 more contract you could go after, even if 2 get claimed, or if it's a 2-player, or in, right? There's always 1 that's going to be left around, even if 1 gets claimed. Even if everyone claims 1 in the same round, there's still at least 1 left over that you could be thinking about. So if you're thinking about all the contracts, you don't get completely reset in a turn. Unless someone takes an extra turn from a contract, but you'd know that because the contract is public and you know they might claim it.
That's fair.
I think one thing that might be interesting is sort of similar to a variant, but where you know, instead of like drawing tiles completely randomly, you have like kind of like you say like 4 tiles that are like face up, and you get to like choose one of them.
So now we're really just talking. Let's play Ticket to Ride.
So are you locked into the side that's face up or something?
You're not locked in, but you only see the one side.
Ooh.
Because that was challenging for me. The incomplete information, like,
Oh, when you were trying to draw a tile back?
well, I'm trying to determine what you guys have and what you're
Oh.
going for, but
I mean, you could have asked. I
what,
would've
what
showed
I'm
it to
seeing
you.
is not
Yeah.
indicative
I wouldn't
of
have.
anything really,
Yeah.
because half of it is
Right.
covered up.
I'm actually curious, Zovico, because I don't think it says it here. Is it intended that what tiles you've drawn is basically private information that you hold in your hand, or is it intended that people could like inspect your hand? Because I don't think it says here, unless I missed it. I don't think it makes a huge difference to the game, but the way some people play, they would definitely prefer it. You can probably put these back in the bag, honestly. The face down side is private information. So basically, you lay them out in front of you. You can choose which side is up, and the face down side is private.
I was always putting my satellites down, but I felt like I
Same.
could somehow be doing more.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you want to show people you have a satellite, so they're like, oh, I can't play a
just kept
satellite
flipping
now.
mine. I figured no one
That's
would
true, I
actually
figured.
really remember which.
Yeah, I wasn't looking.
Yeah, I was.
Well, I knew what you had at the end.
Oh.
I
Well,
knew
yeah.
I knew the one like
The
tried.
lava.
Well, there was like the one lava
Don't
thing
do
because
that
I never
one.
knew. I didn't know what
Put
to
it
do
in
with
the
lava.
bag.
Yeah.
I did not know what to do with the lava, which is why I kept it to the end.
Yeah.
I never actually even ended up playing that one.
The lava tile,
I
yeah.
didn't know what to do with it.
But you did play lava at the end.
Did I?
You did.
You
Not
played
lava.
it.
No.
No.
No,
It
no,
was a
the
black
onyx.
and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had
Yeah.
Onyx,
The onyx isn't lava.
But you-
No, but that onyx.
but you had Onyx lava.
I did.
Yeah.
But I
Yep,
did
yeah.
not play the.
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
not play
yeah.
the lava.
Yeah.
But I was playing around Onyx, is what I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah,
What
that's
about
the
coming up?
game. what do we have coming up? That's a great question. I am actually super excited. I'm excited every week. I know I'm starting to become Steve. But no, seriously, I'm super excited because next week we are doing the 4th and 5th expansions to the Dresden Files cooperative card game, and we are going to be joined live in person on stream by the designer Eric B. Vogel, who will be showing us these new expansions. For those of you who did not watch when we streamed this last year, the Dresden Files cooperative card game is, of course, based on the Dresden Files books. It is a card game where each player gets to play one character from the books. Don't forget that.
Oh, that's going
they get to
be
play one character from the
interesting.
books, and yeah, you can probably pull the drawstring on the back. Sam's having issues.
been a
He's
long
tilted.
Tilted.
Long day,
You get to play one character from the books, and each character has a unique deck of cards that have different
Oh.
abilities.
So it's kind of like Magic?
No.
No.
No. Okay. Oh.
And what is interesting is that each expansion to this game introduces 2 new characters and 2 new books. And what I mean by books is that because it is a cooperative card game, you have like a game that you are playing against. The game that you are playing against is one of the books from the series.
Oh, wait, and when you say a new book, though, is it a book that's already been published?
Yes.
Or?
So
So it's based off one of the prior
yeah, so
existing
the
books.
base game came with X amount of books, and then each expansion adds 2 more books,
Got it.
and the 4th and 5th expansions will almost catch you up to the everything that's been published. I think they might have 1 or
Do
2
people
books
play in
left.
character?
They could.
People who maybe have read the books.
Yeah, what I'm excited about
AKA
is
me.
that in the game, one player must always play Harry Dresden, who is the main character
Yep.
from the book series. And the 5th expansion introduces Winter Night Harry, so that you have 2 different character decks to choose from to be the Harry that has to be in every game, so that there's a little bit more variance because you always have to have someone play Harry.
Fascinating.
So that's super awesome. So we're going to be playing where we're going to be playing against a new book. We're going to be playing a bunch of the new characters, and we're going to have the designer in person to show us all of the awesome things. So that's going to be super, super awesome next week. We don't have graphics up for the full schedule, but we do have the schedule figured out. So we're going to tell you all of it right now. So right after Dresden Files cooperative card game, we are going to be playing Splendor, which is, I'm sure many of you are familiar with. It's a instant classic smash hit from a couple of years ago. I think it won several Game of the Year awards. Really, really great gem collecting card games, sort of set collection
Gem
type thing.
collecting, okay.
And
Crush. The card game.
sure. So we're gonna do Splendor in 2 weeks, and then after that we're gonna do Space
Space
Team,
Team.
which is
The card
basically Tilted Table, the card game. Which is it is a
Shake the thingamabob.
yeah, it is a game in which everyone yells at each other. So it's gonna be great for us. And then the week after that, we are doing what is it?
Another game.
We're doing another game. Yeah. We're on the 4th week, right? Yeah. So the week after that, we're going to be doing the Ranch expansion to Saloon Tycoon.
Oh, I'm gonna miss that.
Yeah, you're going to miss the Ranch expansion. So the fine folks at Van Ryder Games were generous enough to send us a copy of the Ranch expansion to Saloon Tycoon, which we streamed last year. And the new expansion adds cows and pigs that you can put in your ranch. And if you've seen Saloon Tycoon before, you know it's the 3D saloon building game where you build rooms literally on top of each other. So
That's awesome.
so the idea of having a ranch where you could have like pigs and cows and stuff is just going to be super adorable, and I'm super excited about it. That was a Kickstarter last year that just shipped to backers earlier this year, so it's just recently available at retail. So we're gonna be showing that off at the end of next month, and it's gonna be great because Sam's gonna miss it. But you won't, because you'll be here watching the stream. And
I
Sam,
can heckle from stream.
and Sam will be
He can always
relegated
watch the
to
stream
his
afterwards.
heckling ways remotely, I'm sure. yeah, that's what we've got coming up for the next month. We will definitely have some news at some point about a giveaway for one of the streams in the next month. We're still working out the details, but I hope to have an announcement related to that within the next week as to which week we'll be doing the giveaway. So we will let you all know, or perhaps we'll do a thing where we like open the giveaway for the whole month and just pick a winner at the end.
I'm creating Dark Citadel 2, Dark Citadel 3,
Right.
Dark Citadel 4, and I'm entering
Yeah.
5 times.
So that's what's coming up. Huge thanks to Zovico for joining us in the chat tonight. It is always a pleasure to have designers come by and watch the stream and tell us everything that we're doing wrong.
And answer all our questions too.
Yeah, seriously, not because I think that you were anal about correcting us, but because we always do things wrong, and it is actually awesome to have someone who intimately knows the game
And why
answering
things are the way
questions.
they are, too.
Yeah, and thank you to Argyle Games for providing that special promo code. As I said before, it is Tilted. Go to their website, argylegames.com. You can get 25% off everything in their shop with that code for the next almost 2 weeks. So check that out. And we will see you all very, very soon. Do we have anybody that we can raid right now? Do I need to
Good
go check
question,
that?
Jordan.
I'm going to go check that while Sam talks about crazy things. I don't know.
Does anybody need to eat a bean? Did we
Nope.
reach
No.
that?
No, everyone was nice tonight.
You know
Dave.
what? I feel like you're asking a lot of questions.
Yeah.
You might want to eat one.
I feel like
just for the experience
I
of.
feel like we should induct Jeffrey into the
hazing
beans.
ritual? This one does not look tasty.
Okay.
There's
You
like
want
a
me to
good
tell
and
you what
bad
the options
flavor.
potentially are for that one?
Let me see if I can identify it.
Okay. Do you want this as reference?
It's gonna be bad.
I don't have any water or anything.
It's gonna be bad.
All right,
Pieces
all right.
Already.
Butterscotch.
Oh, lucky.
What is
Maybe.
the alternative?
I mean, I don't actually think there's a butterscotch, so it's probably.
But it's like a pleasant flavor.
I don't know what it probably is.
Let's
Truck?
see.
What's that? Caramel corn?
Maybe?
Caramel corn. Yeah.
Doesn't quite taste like that to me, but
There you
Oh,
go.
okay, okay.
I'm
Just
glad
to
it's
make
not
it official.
Molgiki.
Beans for Jeffrey. Let's see here.
You lucked out.
Man, you got lucky with your first try.
RNG Jesus is looking out for
Yeah.
me. Except for during landed.
Man. Oh, here we go.
What's the worst thing you guys have gotten?
Well, so the two that they've said are the worst, but I've gotten and don't feel that way are dead fish and spoiled milk.
I like that
So
it says
lucky.
new
Yeah.
next to them.
New and improved.
But I contemplate the fact that maybe the flavor is dull over time.
Because they've been. How long have you guys had this?
It's been like at least 2 months.
We got them for the stream anniversary at the beginning of April. So,
Yeah.
not quite 2 months, but close.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thanks for the host, lots of pyro.
We
For
appreciate
now.
Hi, Pirate.
All right.
Jordan's over there.
So we're pretty much done.
I know. I'm off
right?
camera. I'm hiding because I'm trying
Where
to
he
find someone
belongs.
Someone else.
awesome to host.
Do we know the name of this planet?
Earth? It's very blue.
It's all water though, right?
Oh wait, are we supposed to be terraforming
I guess we're terraforming it.
something?
Yeah, we're terraforming that planet. That's the theme of the game. We have landed on the planet, and we're
That seems
terraforming.
very water.
And we're like putting Ruby on the planet?
Yeah.
Uranus.
Mine.
I mean, technically that is a similar color.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna send you all to a stream that is playing a game that I actually saw at PAX Unplugged last year, and I've been wanting to play for a while. So go over and show them some love. Let them know where you came from, and we will see you all next week for the Dresden Files cooperative card game featuring designer Eric B. Vogel. We will see you all very, very soon. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye, guys.